Please pause the video and take a moment to read this important safety message.
Hey, good morning everyone. For anyone that's been following my single-ended KT88 amplifier build or the single-ended 807, you'll remember I use these just plain rocker switches. They're about $1 or less a piece. And I've decided I want to do something to upgrade this to, one, give it a little better look, and two, to indicate that the amp is actually on. So we'll show you what we're doing here today. Alright, what we've got here is just a standard single post, single throw switch that is just breaking the power line feeding the amplifier. And I had drilled a 3/4 inch, 0.75 inch hole for this rocker switch to push into and lock. So we're going to end up taking this rocker switch out. And what I've bought here is a 3/4 inch, I think it's listed as 19 millimeter. And this is a push button switch, but it's also got a blue halo light to it. And they come in lots of different colors. And I'll jump online here in a minute and show you where I ordered it from. But not only do you have the kind of the switch side of it on and off, but you've also got some connections here that we're going to need to wire up for the light. And I'll show you how that works.
Okay, as you can see here, I've gone to eBay, and what I've typed in the search bar is LED 12 volt, and you do want to get a 12 volt unit because what you don't want is this bulb so bright that it kind of blinds you. And two, you got to worry a little bit about the reverse forward voltage on the LEDs, running them with AC. So you type in latching, and then I typed in 19 millimeter. These come in different sizes. I know they come in 16 millimeter, but as you can see here, the results I get, they come in lots of different colors, and some of them have little shapes on the front of them. This one looks like a dome light. This one looks like a hazard light, so you could do something pretty cool. I actually saw one that said start engine the other day. I thought that one was pretty cool. But you can see they come in a lot of different shapes and sizes. And when you click on one here, you can get them from overseas for pretty cheap. I have not tried one of these from overseas. The one I'm actually using here, I'll show you. I ended up actually getting off of Amazon. It was this Ulinco's, I guess, latching push button switch, and I wanted a black ring around the outer part here, and I wanted the blue halo light. And you can see here what the back of this would look like. It comes with a little rubber washer. You can see how it kind of functions. They show you how to wire it up, but we're going to talk about that more here in a minute. And you should see they come in 16 millimeter or 19 millimeter. I'd already drilled my hole for the 3/4 inch, which happens to match up well with the 19 millimeter. So, and these were pretty cheap, $9.38 delivered to my house. All right, this is the little wiring diagram that came with this unit. And it's just kind of messed up, to be honest. And don't get me wrong, it would work this way, but here's the problem, okay? If your device, which in our case is 120 volt AC, right? And then your power source for the 12 volts, which they're implying here, kind of a common ground with a DC connecting these. Well, we're not using DC, so if you kind of wired it up the way it showed in a tube amplifier, I would be wiring 6.3 volts right here AC, and I would also be wiring up across this 120 volts AC. And so ultimately, I'll be tying together the 6.3 volt leg of the the power transformer, one of those legs, with one of the 120 volt legs, which I do not think would be wise or advisable for your transformer. So I happened to shoot an email to Robert Zvoko, I think it is, Zvoko, the guy that had built the KT88 amp and made the little 4-minute video I had showed you in my last Soapbox Sunday. And I kind of said, hey, how did you end up getting this thing to work properly? Because their wiring diagram would not work at all. And he basically came back to me here, and he drew me a little picture. And basically what he said was, hey, if you get a ohm meter out and kind of check this thing out, there's no connection between the LED and the actual switch. They were just using a common ground. which made a lot of sense. So I can show you over here on the bench how you wire this up. Basically, these two outer pins here will go to your 6.3 volt AC, and then the C and the NO here will go kind of to your AC switch that you're doing there. And the good thing is, until you turn this switch on, right, there is no 6.3 volts coming through the transformer to power on the LED. So the LED doesn't light up until you've turned it on. So it's a little different than the way the manufacturer intended it or the way they showed in the diagram. So if you get this and you're wiring it up for a tube amp, toss that diagram out and kind of follow this instead. All right, just a few closing thoughts here. One, you can see it here. I think it looks great on the bench. It's a very subtle light. The fact that we're running it at 6.3 volts on a 12 volt light. The specs for this light say that it will operate from 5 volts up to over 12 volts. So running it at 5 volts certainly makes it a little dimmer than at full voltage. Second thing is that you're running this light via AC, and so this LED is only conducting on the positive cycles of the waveform of the sine wave. So what that leads to is something they call 60 hertz flicker. So this thing is turning on and off basically as the sine wave conducts through it. And it's doing that at a rate of 60 hertz. Now, some people will say they can see 60 hertz flicker. I personally cannot. If you're one of those individuals that can and you wanted to fix that, one thing you could do is take the 6.3 volts feeding this, and you could use like a little 5 volt regulator, an LM series, and just feed it via that 6.3 volts, and then feed 5 volts DC into this thing. It would be a simple little wire up to include that instead. But all in all, I think it looks really good. You can also see here kind of what it looks like up close. I am extremely happy with it. All right, and as you can see here, I got a little excited and went ahead and converted the 807 as well. It's getting a little dusty. It needs some time on the listening bench here. So anyway, I've had fun with this little video. I hope you learned a little something, and stay tuned for more.